Welcome back to Dark Souls. My name's Gordon, or This Dying Earth. Sorry for the delay in between episodes. The reason being, I had technical difficulties with Audacity, Shadowplay, and Sony Vegas. Audio sync seemed to be out, and I don't know. I think I fixed it. It seems to be working okay now. Anyway, and also I was on holiday in London. And if you've never been to London, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely fantastic. So cosmopolitan, so much to do, brilliant atmosphere, and not as expensive as people anticipate. Anyway, Dark Souls. Yeah, like mentioned in every episode so far, this playthrough is focused on the red Gravelord Phantoms, or Black Phantoms, or Red Phantoms. They're red to me, that's what they look like to me, so I'll call them Red Phantoms. Anyway, there's one in here inside the parish, and he is a bit of a bugger. To me, it seems like his tracking is swifter and more accurate than his pal, who's just about to lamp us. Lamp is a colloquial term in Scotland for smashing somebody over the coconut, like that. So yeah, so he's just like, I think they're called Heavy Knights. In fact, that's what they're called because I've written it down after looking on one of the wikis. And yeah, they've got more health, the Black Phantoms, Gravelord Phantoms, Red Phantoms. I might as well just cover all the bases there. And yeah, this one obviously wields a big massive sword, and he fucking means business, this chap. He's really aggressive, and he can be a massive handful if you're a newcomer to Dark Souls. Yeah. And as you can see, he's tracking. See what I was trying to do there? I was trying to show. See those pillars, those columns? They can actually be broken by enemies, and I was wanting to show it off. And then in the last minute, I thought this guy's going to hammer me, and I don't have my shield up, so tried to evade his attack and got killed. But yeah, I thought that was quite cool. I didn't actually know that until I actually started playing with these Gravelord Phantoms. But yeah, I can't remember actually now if we were using the halberd in the previous episode, but the halberd is helpful in the parish, especially once we get up the stairs to the Undead Hollows and the channeler that's buffing them. Surprised actually I managed to stagger that big guy there, and I don't know how I got away with that, because normally that second hit, especially at this vitality, will kill you. Some of his attacks will, like that one, will one shot you absolutely at this level, but and yeah, sometimes these guys drop things as well. It's very rare, but sometimes they do. And this, yeah, it's like, obviously there's a Firekeeper soul there, and we've got the Black Knights guarding it, and it's like commemorative, like a shrine or something. I don't know, probably ENB, Silvermont, all these guys that do lore will probably have a better idea of who that Firekeeper is, if it is indeed a Firekeeper, and what's going on in the parish. So we pick up the key that we're going to need to get before the reason. Really, I should have just came down here and done it more efficiently once I decide to go back to the asylum, because before we go into the swamp, we want to have the rusted iron ring. And yeah, we'll definitely be going to get that before we go down to fight Quelaag. And so here's the channeler, and I don't know, maybe I'm just misremembering things, but I'm sure that channeler, you could get as much closer to that channeler before he would, his sensitivity was much lower and he wouldn't see you until you got, like I say, closer, and so you could hit him with like your bow and whatnot. I know you can hit him with your bow down below, but yeah, my memory of that seems different. So I thought I would try out some pyromancies here, and it's annoying sometimes that pyromancies do that. They're definitely a mid-distance strategy rather than up close. Up close, especially with those kind of pyromancies and fireballs that take a wee bit longer to cast. It's not really a great way of dealing with enemies. I don't know what this channeler's saying. I used to, at one point I did know what he said, but I can't actually remember off the top of my head. I can't remember if he's cursing you, or to basically to concoct his spells, or to make his spells work. He's like, you know, saying abracadabra or avada kedavra, or however you pronounce it. What's it called? Incantation? No, it's not an incantation. So to cast it, yeah, you say the magic words. And this is just so satisfying with the halberd, you've got to do it. And they know that, it's FromSoft, they know that 9 times out of 10 if you're walking past those barrels you're going to smash them. All these wee touches are so good. Yeah, so see this area here, we've got the channeler, and in a minute we're going to go and free Mr. Goldpants himself, Mr. Goldmember, with his gaudy gold armour, Lautrec of Kareem. We're going to free him, so he's in here in the parish prison obviously, and we have the channeler, and we have these big heavy knights. So yeah, did they imprison him? Some people have suggested that's the case. And there's Seif's fingerprints, or paw prints, or talon prints, or whatever dragons have, are all over the parish. Well, not all over the parish, but they're present in the parish and also in Darkroot Basin. And we'll talk about that soon. So yeah, we've got the Bell Gargoyles enemy here, the first real enemy of the game. And I don't understand what happened here. The halberd seems to clip through them quite a lot. Obviously I'm playing aggressively and taking risks, and maybe, you know, should have been a bit more defensive and conservative, but nah, that should have been a hit in my opinion, but no, because I wasn't, you know, locked onto him maybe, and that was such a frustrating death, really was. And so I couldn't remember, so you're about to see I had the Ring of Sacrifice on, and obviously I recorded this a wee while ago and I couldn't remember why have I got the Ring of Sacrifice on? And obviously you'll see why in a moment. And I mentioned this in previous episodes, with the Black Phantoms on, the run back to bosses can be a lot more perilous, and you know, you're at much higher risk of dying and not being able to retrieve your souls and your humanity. And losing souls doesn't really bother me that much. Losing humanity annoys me though. And this is the reason why I, you know, opted to wear the Ring of Sacrifice, because I thought there was a high chance that if I take this guy on, and I suppose I could run past him, but obviously we've got the Balder Knight on the stairs and you have to defeat him, and then I don't actually think that big black what you call him, Heavy Knight can get up the stairs, but anyway. So I'm getting my clock cleaned by these Bell Gargoyles for some reason, and they're not difficult. I love this boss fight, I think it's got so much atmosphere, you know, it's such a good idea to do it on the roof. I could be, again, inaccurate here, but I think I read somewhere once that you were supposed to fight somebody else up on this roof. Was it maybe, no, it wasn't Ceaseless Discharge. Somebody else anyway. So yeah, a lot more straightforward this time around. And we got the Gargoyles halberd. 20 humanities, and the Gargoyles halberd is very much like the halberd I'm using just now. It's the exact same moveset, I believe, and the difference in damage is negligible. And some people might not be aware, but if, depending on the order that you ring the Bells of Awakening, if you ring you get a different sequence here, you know, cutscene. If you go and ring the one down at Quailag first, it's a slightly different cutscene than the one for the one in here in the parish. And it's worth checking it out on YouTube if you've not seen it.
Cometh out of them first.
And one of the greatest characters in all of Souls history, including Bloodborne, Oswald of Karim, the Pardoner, and his dialogue and voice acting is perfect, and Frog Nation did a fantastic job of translating the Japanese dialogue into that kind of old-fashioned, sanctimonious English. And so I actually make kind of a big mistake here actually. I couldn't remember, because it's been a long time since I've actually played Dark Souls, whether you could get away with going round the way to open that door without having to buy the Crest of Artorias for 20,000 souls. And the reason I was pointing down the other direction is saying that, because I'm about to show you the wolf ring, and I think I was just so angry because I really want the wolf ring. It really does help against the Gravelord phantoms, and there it is up there, so close but so out of reach, because those stone knights, the 4 black phantom stone knights that are down there, are just too difficult at this level. I really have no clue how you get past them, because they all aggro as soon as you walk through the fog gate. And yeah, so I'm pointing to where we're headed, down towards the Hydra, and close to the Hydra there's a ladder that takes you up, and it takes you around to Alvina and the Forest Hunters, Covenant, and the chaps that hang around there that want to stab you and bash you. And just for some reason I thought, oh yeah, I can definitely get away with this. I can go around the back way, open the door, and I don't have to pay the 20k, and the blacksmith can, con somebody else. I love this. There's so much atmosphere as you walk up here. The sky's dark. You can hear, just as you approach this area, you can start to hear the Hydra move, and yeah, it's full of auditory and visual atmosphere. And so these creatures are believed to be created by Sif the Scaleless, and so, like I mentioned earlier, with the fingerprints of Sif the Scaleless being present in the parish, likewise are they, and more so are they present here with the Hydra, with these dudes. And by the way, this is a bad choice of weapon to be attacking these guys with. You want a strike based weapon. Thanks Hydra, doing our job for us. Yeah, you want a strike based weapon. It does a lot more damage, like the large club. At this point you probably won't have access to them, so something like the smaller club with the nails in it, reinforced club I think it's called, or something like that, you can buy from the Undead Merchant, I believe, in Undeadburg. So your strategy to walk towards these guys, you can do it the complicated and risky way, which I like to do, which is to put a good high stability shield on, tank your tanky armour, and just walk towards them. Don't run towards them. If you run towards them, it increases the damage that's inflicted against you if it hits, if one of those water bombs hits. And I'm basically making a mess of this. Or you could do it the less complicated way and just go to the left. To the left there's like an outcrop of rock that shields you from their attacks. But yeah. So you can actually see my souls from up at the entrance to Darkroot Basin, which I think is quite cool. Also, if you've got, I found out recently from looking at the wiki that if you use the Ring of Fog here, you cut the aggro range of the Hydra in half, so you can get a lot closer before it starts to spit water balls out, and you could probably make it the whole way down, and the other ones will just fly over your head when they do start to attack, like these ones. So yeah, you can see I put on the Black Knight shield, which has more stability obviously by default than the Grass Crest shield. Put the Grass Crest shield back on, and your strategy here is to just hit as many heads as you can without going over the edge, and just be careful, there is a lip or an edge to the lake there, and I wouldn't put you through the torture of showing you all of the footage of me trying to get the heads, because it can be quite a tedious process, and pernickety as well, you don't always achieve it very well in hitting them. So we get the Dusk Crown Ring there, and the Dragon Scale. I think the Dusk Crown Ring, if I'm not mistaken, it cuts your HP in half, but maybe gives you more casts, something like that, or you do more damage. Pick up the Knight set there, Knight's armour set, decent set, and not as heavy as the Elite Knight set. So you come up here, it's a dead end, and you quit, reload, and you'll fight this golden crystal. I can't even say this properly without stuttering and messing everything up. Golden crystal golem. Slowly and with poise, and you'll get it out. That doesn't sound right. That could be badly misconstrued. And out pops Dusk, who had been entombed inside the crystal golem. And apparently, according to ENB, Dusk is one of the favourites of Miyazaki himself. And ENB does an impression of him being defensive about her. But we see our headgear. We're actually later in the playthrough will get that in order to progress in places like Anor Londo with pyromancies. Yeah, Dust raised a lot of questions. Her appearance here, obviously. Why she's here, why she's trapped in the golem, was it Seath, the Scaleless? Why is she forward in time? She's out of time apparently. And if you kill her here, apparently Elizabeth is dead once you get to the DLC, and you'll remember Elizabeth is a big mushroom creature that you encounter once you've beaten the Guardian. What's it called? Sanctuary Guardian. So what we've done is, this is like towards the back entrance of the door where Crest of Artorias is used to open it. And what I've done is I'd made a bit of a poop when I was recording with Shadowplay, and I missed a bit of footage because I think it was the next day I came back to this. And what I've actually done is, the bridge that we were just waving at is actually behind the feline. These great felines, they do their bowling ball attacks with the jelly wibble wobble noise, wibble wobble wibble wobble, like that. And they're apparently very susceptible to poison, and the wiki also recommends using Tranquil Walk of Peace against them, which slows their attacks down. But they're dangerous creatures, these beasts. I think they capture the essence of cats very well, all claws and teeth and aggro. You want to poison, they're susceptible to poison, I think I mentioned that. So poison mist or poison knives or arrows, poison arrows. And so this is back. I decided to make the run back here, I think, to show off where it came from, and it turned out it wasn't a good idea, because trying to attack these beasts from behind down the hill, down the slope and behind the trees became difficult with the halberd. So yeah, eventually I think I just decided, screw that, I'm going to run back to where I came from, which is on the opposite side of the bridge, from the bridge. And the main reason I came down here, I don't think I mentioned this earlier in the video, was basically to farm as many gold pine resins as possible, because as we progress into the game and we get to areas where there's a lot of black phantoms, we need to be able to do as much damage as possible. And obviously a lot of enemies in this game, especially I think it's in the latter half of the game, are susceptible to gold pine resin, or the buff from it at least. So you come up here, Sif is the boss room for Sif is just to the right, and you see ominously these red shapes through the trees, and I forgot that these beasts were here. And these mushrooms are serious business when they're black phantoms. I mean, you know how hard they hit. They hit like bloody Mike Tyson on, 20 grams of testosterone and cocaine and everything rolled into one. When they're not black phantoms, so you can imagine what they're like as black phantoms, like that. And I didn't expect these wee dudes to come up here and aggro as far, but they do, because they're black phantoms. Their aggro range is massive, and they can fit up here. I mean, if their dad could make it up here to Alvina, he would probably come up and smash me too. And my hope was that Alvina would obviously de-aggro them, but it doesn't for some reason with these guys. And then I realised, wait a minute, a halberd against these big mushrooms is not going to work. Mushrooms plus fire or heat source equals destruction, so, or gooey mushrooms at least are... I think I was thinking of marshmallows when I was thinking of the fire and killing these dudes. And because they remind me of like half marshmallows, half mushrooms. So yeah, even the wee ones are dangerous as black phantoms. And the most dangerous threat that they pose is that you get, too engrossed in fighting them, your attention's diverted momentarily, and the big beast at the back comes and, falcon punches you off the side of the cliff. But yeah, but I did a lot of farming here to get souls to buy the Crest of Artorias, because as you'll see in a moment, the door doesn't open from the back end, and also to farm for gold pine resin, and that was it was fraught with danger, because obviously you have to take these big, red dudes on, and the black phantoms obviously aggro for miles, so it was very challenging. Used a lot of pyromancy to do it, and I think I gave up after I managed to get like 3 or 4 gold pine resins off them, and then I gave up because it was just annoying. So I joined the Forest Hunters Covenant just so that these guys wouldn't aggro. I'll come back and deal with them later. This is the invisible dude. If you kick him off the cliff, I think you get the Ring of Fog, and you just load and restart the game and you'll get it. And yeah, we'll eventually take these guys on because I like fighting the Forest Hunters. And that's basically it for this episode. In the next episode, we will continue to make progress towards Sen's Fortress. Thanks for watching.